Hello, and today we are talking about all things geeky.
We're back. We're taking some time out. Unfortunately, our own individual schedules kind of got in the way of things.
We've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been busy.
Bradley and I worked on a film together.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
That was like a
that was an
long time.
experience.
That was a while ago.
It does
now.
feel like a while ago.
At least a month.
Yeah, I got him in.
Or
He had the experience.
Yeah.
We're now
He's
out.
a worse person because.
I mean, I'm better than all you guys now because I worked on a film, bitch. Yeah.
And I've fallen into being an absolute bum. I'm out of work. No money. I'm just
Join us.
begging. Constantly begging.
Living off the street.
But obviously, since the last podcast that we did, the last episode, a lot has happened. Avengers Endgame is going to be probably the biggest. There's a lot more, but that's the biggest hyped film that came out in cinema that everyone was waiting for.
Kind of on par with how people are reacting to the new Game of Thrones coming back now as well.
And this Christmas, Star Wars,
New Star Wars.
Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, the end of the trilogy. So there's 3 big things that are ending this year, which is pretty crazy. And a moment for Peter Mayhew, the actor who played Chewbacca, unfortunately passed away recently. Which is a real shame.
Let him rip.
They're all going. He's there now with Kenny Baker and Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. Making a better Star Wars film
In heaven.
in heaven.
We'll get to see
When we get there.
when we join him.
Yeah, and time will tell if episode 9 is any good. But that's detracting. Let's talk about the present, what's happened now recently. Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about it because we've all seen it and it was emotional.
It was a roller coaster. We should probably say spoilers,
Yeah.
just in case.
Will be spoilers.
If you haven't seen the film by now, then shame on you.
Yeah,
because it's been a week or two. No,
It's
it
like-
has been a week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's
Yeah, week and a bit.
like people online who are always like, hey, why you can't say these things on the internet, but if you're afraid of hearing spoilers, stay away from the internet.
Yeah.
Very basic rule.
Yeah, I was pretty happy that I didn't see any spoilers after not seeing it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Even that felt quite risky, not seeing it opening night or the next day.
It seems like a lot of the fans have had the respect of, Marvel did that whole don't spoil Endgame,
Yeah.
and the actors did the whole
Yeah.
campaign, and the fans have actually taken that on board and listened.
Exactly,
And
and the trailers themselves didn't actually give anything away. It was good because I felt like I really could get invested in the film and go through it without expecting anything.
Yeah.
Like I knew they'd go back in time, but the 5-year jump.
Yeah, that was
Didn't
unexpected when it
expect-
happened.
I mean,
The fact that they immediately turn up and kill Thanos
Yeah, but
was a
opening
nice
was
surprise. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I like
I wasn't
that."
expecting
Yeah,
that.
I didn't expect him to immediately rally and just be like, alright, let's fight
No.
him.
Let's
Whereas
go.
he, Captain
I
Marvel's
thought it'd be
arrived.
like they're still fighting him, and then they've gone back in time to get what they need to defeat him now, and then they fight him and probably kill him at the end. But the fact that they kill him at the beginning, try and turn back time, and then a previous Thanos appears to stop them, I was quite happy that was something I could experience just in the cinema. I didn't actually get ruined for me by anything.
Yeah, the only thing, well, it wasn't really ruined for me. The sort of like spoilers without context is where I was. And you see those and you go, I got no idea. And then you watch the film. It's just like,
Oh, I'm in on
nice.
that.
I get it.
understand
I get the
Yeah.
joke now. I get
It's
it.
Luckily, I
funny.
didn't even see any of those.
Yeah, I stayed well away. Luckily.
Those are the only things. And I was kind of like afraid to even look at those. So I was just
So
like,
as soon
scroll,
as I saw
scroll.
anything Avengers, Marvel related, I was like, get the fuck out.
Well, I had a few friends who went and saw it before I even got a chance to, and me being known within that group as the bigger geek of them all, they kept coming. You seen it? No, got a couple of days yet. Have you seen that? Oh my god, it's amazing. I'm like, shut up. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want any expectations whatsoever. Fortunately, I got told something. I went in expecting it. It didn't quite happen, but at the end,
What were you
it paid
told?
off. That the first 15 minutes were gonna be. You're gonna love the first 15 minutes.
Hardcore
Fucking
sex
awesome.
scene with Thanos.
And it happened, and nothing incredible. Like I was expecting
It
some sort of
wasn't-
major
yeah.
fight scene. It was very like you said, they kill Thanos, and that was great.
Yeah, but it's not like
that
they
wasn't what I
fight
expected,
him.
but I was expecting some sort of awesome choreographed fight scene or something unexpected. I guess that is
Like the
unexpected,
opening of
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
but I've not seen that yet.
It's great.
But then when that didn't happen, I thought, okay, maybe I misheard and it's the first 50 minutes. Then I watched and
Yeah,
then I
3
forgot
hour
it. Yeah, that
film,
went to the
it's
back
easy,
of my
yeah.
mind. Yeah, kept going. When's the next thing? When's the next? Fell to the back of my
I was-
mind. But just that little bit of expectation going, you're going to love this first, and given a time frame, you kind of sit there going, okay, what is it? What is it? What is it? Have I missed something here? Or
Yeah.
but
I mean,
that's
I
the only
thought it
downfall
was
I had.
a really good opening. Like, mainly the Hawkeye bit, I think, was a pretty good opening to me.
Well, they had to
Yeah.
make up for the fact that it was a.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously they got to include him in this film, and then you
Yeah.
got to see how and why, and it did help show the impact of it, where it's like he's under house arrest and he's just teaching his kids how to shoot arrows, and then
Living that family life.
yeah, and then they're just all gone.
Your
And it's
American
like,
dream.
Hard-hitting.
oh, where are you guys?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they're all gone.
Which must be the same for
Or
Ant-Man,
dust.
obviously, because he's under house arrest. And although in
But he's
Ant-Man and the Wasp, he
stuck
gets to
in quantum
interact
realm.
with his child. He gets stuck in the quantum realm.
Have you not seen it?
I have seen Ant-Man. I had to watch it before seeing Avengers Endgame because obviously when the trailer came out and Scott Lang turned up at the end, the internet exploded. Going, oh my god, what? How's he there?
Yeah.
And I was, have I missed something? What
Yeah.
have I not seen? It's because I hadn't seen the film. So
See,
I made
I'd
sure I watched it
seen,
before I went, and that
the
was enjoyable. And
end clip
I'm glad I
for
did.
Ant-Man and Wasp before I actually saw Ant-Man and Wasp, so I knew he went into the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Just didn't know the rest of the film, so for me it was just like but it's just how do you bring him back?
Yeah.
It's like conveniently, here's a rat.
Just push the
steps on.
button. Yeah, just has to happen.
I mean, it took 5 years.
It
I
took
guess.
5 years.
Yeah,
Not all too convenient, but it's still kind of
and
convenient.
it's kind of cool for.
How
I
did
quite
it
liked,
get in the car?
Yeah, because I've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp recently, and it focuses a lot on the relationship he has with his daughter. So then when it's 5 years later, and his daughter's grown, he's missed out on that big part of childhood, and that was, although they didn't really touch on it much, because like you said, they did the whole Hawkeye family thing, etc. You also have a bit of understanding that it's quite hard hitting for him. You know, he's at the memorial watching. He's missed out on a load of information, so it
Yeah, I
had
totally
quite
agree.
a nice emotional impact. At the
I
start
really
between
like
some of
that
the
whole
characters.
sort of intro bit of it being like post-apocalyptic movie. Yeah, he's like come out and he's like, "Wait, what the
Yeah,
fuck's
Walking
going
Dead
on?
sort
Why
of
is
shit.
there-" Yeah, exactly. I mean, admittedly, it doesn't make all that much sense. I
'Cause-
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
However,
because what
it's
was
still
it?
very enjoyable.
You looked at it as the number of the population would be.
Well,
brought
yeah,
back
if it
down
was
to-
if it was exactly in half,
Yeah.
you know, and
Across
say
all
we're at 8
planets
billion
and-
or even like the 7 billion, we're in the between there at the moment. So it's like 3.5 to 4 billion on this planet after the snap.
Yeah.
Bradley, you found out that's like the exact same
That's-
amount of people
Roughly the
that were living
population of
during
World War II.
World War II on the planet, you know.
Yeah, and as you see in those films,
Exactly, no
it,
one
it
actually-
was
Yeah.
quite populated.
No, yeah,
still
no
back
one
then.
You got
actually-
Captain America First Avenger to compare it to, whereas
Yeah.
like they're going down the street, there's still dozens of cars driving
Exactly, and
about.
they're like pretending
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
the future.
but in this, it's
Yeah,
the
exactly. No one
post-apocalyptic.
ever makes a World War II film and they act like, oh my god, there's only 3 billion people
Yeah,
on the planet. Whoa.
Yeah.
There's hardly any. It's like in the last 100 years.
Look at
we've,
all
like,
these skyscrapers.
you know,
There's 3 billion
constantly,
people, and
yeah.
none of them are populating the skyscrapers. Like, what? No.
Which means Thanos' plan was shit because in another 80 years we'd just be back up
Back
to
to
the
where
8
it was.
billion.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the problem.
And
It's
he
like it
destroyed
doesn't
the
If
solve
anything, it
anything.
happened quicker because
Yeah,
you know
because they're
with
trying to
World War
regain.
II, you know, you get that whole baby boom generation of
Yeah.
being like something terrible's happened. Everyone drives into a mad lust and
Yeah,
arms
and also it was like
Gotta get that
evolution of
population up.
technology
Exactly.
made it easier for people to survive. This is set in the future. It's not like they've gone back to the Stone Age. They've still got all the stuff. It's just 4 billion of the population are gone.
There's just a bit more
So
room.
it's like,
also maybe
People would-
including animals.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, maybe including animals. It's kind of
Yeah, that was-
suggested.
Yeah, was that part of it? I'm not quite sure because obviously Cap mentions a pod of whales swimming through wherever it is, but then when
the Hudson, I believe.
yeah, okay, and then when it's sorry, I don't know how
Okay,
to
that's
respond.
fine.
Hudson River. I'm
I'm
just
like,
saying.
I don't
show
know
where
where
I
it is. I
think
don't
it
know.
is.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
don't know
believe-
geographically where that
That's the
is.
New York River thing.
Yeah, it's the one.
I was really stumped. I didn't know how to
It's
respond.
like the
Okay.
Thames.
Yeah.
Is Hudson in New York?
What? Yeah, I'm
Hudson
fairly
in
So
certain.
yeah, that's I
Yeah,
don't
it's
understand
that area,
geographically
yeah.
where
The
it was.
Avengers
So
are
that's
in
why
yeah.
I was stumped.
Just making sure it was.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm
Avengers
pretty
are like
certain
on the
that's it.
outskirts of New York.
Yeah.
and Hudson's, yeah.
But yeah, then when obviously they have success with the gauntlet, Scott Lang looks out the window, and then there's the sound of the birds. And it's kind of
Yeah,
is
and they
that
fly?
supposed to be that
Yes.
birds are now back, the
Yeah.
animal population's up?
I think
Exactly.
that's what
Someone
it's trying to
pointed out that they
suggest.
think that's what they were
Or
suggesting.
it's trying to be like,
A
it's a
glory
dawn
moment.
of a new day.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's
Kind
how
of like-
I interpreted it when I watched it. I was just like, oh, the birds are swinging, happy times again. But I do understand that people could interpret that by being like,
I mean,
Well,
he
the
said
birds-
the
half-
birds are
he
back.
said half of all life and clicked his fingers.
So
And
yeah,
I mean, I
Losing
don't
it.
think he said half of all life.
don't think he said anything.
I don't think
He
that
just
was the
clicked his
last
fingers,
thing.
Well, I
didn't he?
mean, yeah, he did.
Kept saying I'm inevitable.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
But what was quite nice about that moment is obviously straight afterwards, it's like that
And then they all
glory is
get fucked
taken
up.
away, and I wasn't expecting that when that happened. It was real
Nah.
holy shit kind of thing for me. Awesome, well played.
Well,
Yeah, I thought Nebula would be a bit like they'd be a bit more sneaky or something, and it'd be like Nebula tries and plays them, and then War Machine notices her hand isn't been burnt whilst trying to grab the
Yeah.
orb from the thing, and they're going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
and then something would happen instead of it being like she's got back, and then immediately she's managed to
Just
get
straight
him
up,
through.
yeah.
Yeah.
hits the buttons.
Yeah.
I guess
That
it
tiny
was
ship.
probably just a quick pace sort of thing because if you spend too much time focusing on Nebula trying to fool them all,
Yeah.
it might come to a slower
I don't know
pace.
how he exactly got his entire fleet through.
It was just his ship. I thought it was just his one ship. His
Yeah,
battle
it's his
cruiser.
one big ship, but it's filled with to the brim with stuff.
Yeah.
The ship is
How-
big enough.
It
How the
was
hell
just
did it
one
get
thing.
in there?
Well, I thought they were using like the ship they travelled through time in or something.
They didn't
No,
travel
I-
through time. They went through in their suits. didn't
Because
they?
you have to have the pin particles. Is
Yeah.
what they were setting up.
Yeah, and they stole.
So they were
one.
like, and they shrunk down one of the ships, so when they went back in time, they could travel to Vorag and Voromir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So
Yeah,
then
it-
does,
it-
so then how does Thanos'?
No, it works because they are able to shrink down a building in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
how,
not
how
saying
does
that they
how
had
does
the pinch
Thanos do that?
particle.
No.
Because
pinch particle.
they took the pinch particle from Nebula when they capture her.
I mean, I guess yeah.
Yeah, I guess
he
there's
holds
enough
it,
left
he's like,
for one
"Aha."
travel.
Yeah, there's enough
Yeah.
left for one travel. He just takes one ship, his master
Yeah,
ship,
his
and
His
drags it
flagship.
through
Yeah.
the thing.
That's fair.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think he pops out the back of the van. I think that's the target.
No, he
jumps
shoots
out.
straight out because he's above the Avengers headquarters.
Yeah, he
Mm,
comes out
yeah.
of the.
Flies out of the building.
Oh
He
yeah,
comes
yeah,
out the
because he
same
comes out
pad
of the same pad. So
that
yeah,
they're
yeah,
on,
no,
because
it's fine.
she has to
It's
do
fine, it
whatever.
Reasons brother
Jazz.
thought this through.
Yeah, they've
no,
covered their
it's-
asses enough.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
one of those
You,
things.
you
that
still have to
after
skip
one
over the
watch,
fact
yeah,
that he's just got this thing and he knows
how to use
how
it.
to make his ship small with it.
Yeah,
There
you
might
know.
be a bit of
But
information. We've
that's-
only
that's
watched
fine.
it
it's
Once.
kind of one of those things. No, it makes
A
sense.
second viewing is in order. Maybe a third.
It's fine.
Because
not
it makes
enough.
sense. Like it's
you've got-
advanced technology to us.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not advanced technology to them, but then it
I mean,
also
yeah,
makes you
they're
kind
in
of go,
space.
why isn't anyone else using it in space, or we haven't
Yeah,
seen
there's no
anyone?
quantum
Don't
Well,
but-
need it, I guess maybe.
Yeah, I mean, what
Although
are
that
we
would
gonna
be
use it
more.
for?
Yeah, I feel like you should do more space stuff where you see like what looks like the same sort of powers. Like there should be like some Ant-Man
Earth,
type
yeah.
people. Just like a Hulk. Because the Hulk planet exists basically. In the comics, there's like a Hulk planet which is used to that sort of gamma radiation, so they all look like the Hulk, and then he becomes Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
So I reckon it'd be nice if in the background they just had a
I mean,
The
Phase 4.
scientists, yeah.
I
a
think
Hulk type character.
Phase
Working
4
on
is what I think that's going to be. Covered
Yeah, I think
with,
they're going to be
uh,
opening up to
a lot more space stuff.
Yeah, I think they yeah.
spacey.
because it took them a while to
And
kind of
the
really get into
multiverse.
space.
Isn't it?
And yeah,
There's gonna be
multiverse is about-
multiverse.
Yeah, splitting.
I'm
up
wondering
Which
if
we'll
the
touch on in a
multiverse
sec.
is going to be a technique for them to bring back
Some of the characters.
some of the characters if they
They could,
want.
if-
I
yeah.
think they might bring back Black Widow, possibly, or I
For-
don't know.
for the
But
moment, I
I just
think-
think it's a very easy method to bring back
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah,
if
they-
all
they-
sound like
they've
well,
done it that way,
actually, let's,
definitely. To leave that as a
Yeah, I think
possibility.
they've left the door open, but all
But
the
for now-
actors are very like.
They're tired with those roles.
Yeah,
It's been,
tired.
10 years?
Except I guess Scarlett Johansson, who is doing a Black Widow movie.
Yeah, that's been...
Unless it's not
Up
even
on
a
there.
Black Widow movie, and that's just.
Is
the
Chris Hemsworth
secret
done
title.
with 4? I know he was
No.
like,
He's
oh,
gotta
I'm
be in
travelling.
Guardians
He's got to be
3.
Guardian, as
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black
That was
Widow's
like
obviously
pretty much
happening.
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the film, I didn't find Black Widow's death so impactful because as it was happening, I was just kind of like, well, you know, it could be either one. I was sort of expecting to be Hawkeye because it'd be like, I've done these terrible things, like he says, and it's like later on he'll be brought back. I was just expecting whoever died would be brought back. So when she died, I still thought it was quite a good scene, emotional scene, and yeah, I like Black Widow in this film and Hawkeye in this film more than any of the other films. But when she did die, I was just kind of like, wasn't as impactful to me because I was expecting her to come back at the end because of the Infinity Gauntlet, which you knew they'd eventually end up getting.
I didn't expect her to come back, but I just still didn't. Like, it was impactful, but there's a level of being like, when they went for that stone, I was like, well, I know one of them's not going to come back. And because, like, Scarlett Johansson hasn't had her Black Widow film, and her character's kind of just
A sidekick.
being a sidekick for the film, which is a real shame.
Yeah, she's the first female superhero in the Marvel universe. And she's played important roles.
Iron Man 1?
Iron Man 2 is when she was introduced.
Which is like the fourth ever film.
So she's been with the franchise for a long time, but yeah, she's never really had much light shone upon her. So when it happened,
I mean, Winter Soldier's great. She gets a great bit in there.
Yeah,
that's really the closest she's gotten to a movie. I'd say
underused.
Same
with Hawkeye, really. I think they've both have been underused throughout the franchise.
Yeah, because they've got a relationship that they touch on, but it's not really explored.
And Hawkeye, I don't think they knew what they were doing with him initially, besides being like, here's him in film, how cool is that? And then they were just kind of like, he's in the background, then people are complaining, let's make him laugh, funny, whatever. So yeah, I feel like they've been underappreciated, and for that, I didn't find it all
when
too
it came
emotional,
to their
when it was like,
although, you know,
I think Joss Whedon fucked up Hawkeye. I blame Joss Whedon for Hawkeye, because in Ultron, where it was like, he's got a family to make him relatable. Yeah, it's like, it's not like his character though. It's supposed to be death as well, and they just don't have that. Or at least hard of hearing. That's an interesting part of his comic character that isn't.
So, I'm just imagining previous films when they're trying to talk to Hawkeye, having to like shout at him, being like,
"Shoot,
Hawkeye!
Take down the egg!"
But I mean, it's
the big
one of those
blue
things
guy.
where
I can't hear you.
I couldn't see that. What?
That's a disabled superhero that they made an enabled superhero now, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it takes away something from his character.
And
his interaction and relationship.
Be able to reach out to a fan base and make other people, the real life people, humans today, relate to another hero, because that's why Captain Marvel was such a big Marvel was such a
it's still Captain Marvel.
A big impact. And so same with Black Panther, because you had all these fans that now had characters that they could look to and see themselves. So having Hawkeye be true to his character and have a form of hearing disability would just reach out to those fans who could relate, which is a weird move for Marvel not to include that.
It's funny because to
me,
it's
just because it's the early stages when he was introduced.
To me, the peak of Hawkeye in the MCU, at least before Endgame, was just seeing him in Thor. When it was like, oh, this is Hawkeye. I was like, oh, that's sick. Like, reference, cool character in the comics. And it was like, since then, he's just kind of been a disappointment. I think, part of the problem is, you got the Avengers, but only Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor have, like, movies.
Yeah.
Hulk technically does.
With Thor Ragnarok,
I meant Incredible Hulk.
Oh, Incredible Hulk, which was the
still
second
technically
film.
Canon,
Well, that's where
Robert
William
Downey
Hurt's
Jr.
character,
does exist.
General.
General Ross.
Ross is introduced.
Yeah, exactly.
And William Hurt.
I was really glad when they brought him back in Civil War, and then he appears again in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Just as little bits, but still, that was pretty sick. Does make me want to be like, okay, can you now bring back Betty Ross?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Jennifer Connelly, I think, was Ed Norton's one. Fairly certain.
Essentially just redo Hulk.
Oh, no. Again. It was Liv Tyler. Jennifer Connelly, I think,
the original one, Eric Bana Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't have to be Liv Tyler's Betty Ross, just bring back Betty Ross. Especially now they've killed
Scott Johansson.
They're weird.
Black
Again,
Widow.
that's Joss Whedon's fault, trying to fucking put Scarlet,
Black
Widow,
Natasha with
and Hulk together. It's just like, no, yeah, he had his own film, which still counts, but and he had another film before that, so people still at least knew in the things. They could have at least given us a Black Widow and Hawkeye film together.
Yeah.
Like, this is what, the 4th Avengers film, and we're only now after the 4th Avengers film getting
to see their relationship.
one Black Widow film.
Which
So
will
it's like,
explore
yeah,
maybe
it's a shame.
her past.
They're the main Avengers, and then they're not getting films. I just feel like that was one of their.
They're not getting
that
as
was a
much coverage as
mistake
the others.
in
oversight.
MCU.
Oversight.
Yeah, an oversight.
Yeah.
Because you got Spider-Man, which is good, and then you got Doctor Strange, which I don't like, but at least you have these characters and Captain Marvel and all that stuff, and they're obviously going to be a big part of the next phase moving forward. I'd say
Phase
Black
4.
Panther and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like that was missed.
But
Endgame was really good.
It was really good. It was emotional.
I still,
Teared up almost
Oh,
the entire
good.
time
Love
because
Chris
I was
Evans.
not willing to cry
Constantly.
it
in
was
the cinema
emotional.
in front of people because I was just like, I can't walk out here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
know
were
other
definitely-
people would be doing it, but I just was
Exactly.
like, I
There were
can't.
definitely
hear-
so
you
many
could
moments
hear
though
it.
when you were like, yeah. Because I remember
All around
people
the cinema,
saying
people
like,
sniffing.
people were saying, some of our friends
Holding back
after
those
Infinity
emotions.
War were like, oh man, I just cried. It was so emotional. It was 10 years of build up, and it was just like a great. And I was just like, and Infinity War didn't do it for me. It's still a bit of a disappointment. It could still be improved, I think, by making it 2 films, particularly. Having one set on Earth and one in space, splitting up the Captain America team, Iron Man teams. Fucking repeat that so many times. But with this film, Endgame, like that was emotional for me. For a lot of it, I
definitely.
was definitely like,
I
oh,
felt myself.
there.
The emotions rising, the eyes glazing over, and kind of like choking a bit. Like, oh god, this is powerful.
Yeah, even just seeing battle, like that end battle.
Oh my god, when it was
just
like,
awesome.
When-
watch your left.
When
Oh,
Captain
yeah.
America
Come up your
just
left,
gets
I
back
was-
up by himself,
Yeah.
everyone else being knocked out.
Yeah,
He's been
and it's
beaten
just
the shit
Thanos
out,
there.
I
and
love
it's just
Captain
like,
America.
I gotta get back up again.
Yeah.
I gotta go, and I just gotta keep
I
going.
do
And
this
then
all
it's
day.
like, boom, they're here. You got back up
Yeah.
now. And it's like,
that was. I was biting
Yeah.
my finger. I could feel
I
myself
mean,
kind
the
of going.
fucking when he
tears
has
coming.
the hammer. That
Yeah.
was like,
Oh,
fuck yeah, man.
the audience
fucking Luke
erupted.
Skywalker pull the fucking
Lightsaber.
hammer.
Yeah.
Like,
to-
Yeah, people fucking fists went up in the air. My arm went up. I audibly heard myself go, yeah. It was instinct. I couldn't control it, but I wasn't the only
Breakfast
one.
Club,
Everyone
yeah.
was there.
fucking Mario.
It was just, oh, that was a powerful moment, and yeah, the
Yeah.
whole film.
it was great they got there and everyone
Yeah.
wanted
it
it.
really came to a huge
Honestly,
finale.
I
Yeah, the
didn't
best bit of
expect it.
fan
Really loved
service ever.
Yeah, and the dad next to me was crying with his kid and all sorts. It touched everyone.
Yeah.
The
I
audience was a mess with tears.
was terrified of watching this film at the midnight showing. Not really after the midnight showing, because seeing Infinity War, like, I wasn't entirely satisfied with it. And so I didn't want to see a midnight showing, and I kind of regret it. Because the amount of just fan servicing, it was too
Yeah,
good
they
for its
gave
own
every
good.
like
And
it was.
it gave you a slice of everything you wanted, and it was paced perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave you enough of what everyone wanted to see happen, as well as enough like surprises and enough of a story that it was like still its own movie and fresh. Like the time heist, I think some people have a problem with it, but I really enjoy that bit. Like just for
Yeah,
them to
definitely.
go back and like
See moments
service,
that,
all that
witness
things,
all
just to be
those-
like, hey, this is the last call to see, fucking
Those
Frank
things,
Grillo's
yeah.
crossbones and Robert Redford's Alex Pierce and all that shit and all
and
that. And you get to see Peggy Carter again and
Tony
touching
Stark's
moment of
dad.
Yeah, Howard
Tony
Stark.
seeing his dad again. That was
it's like
Yeah.
all those
I thought
little
that was
things.
a
I
really
felt
nice
like
way
yeah,
to
that was
finish
yeah.
his story.
that
as
was
well.
great for me. Yeah, it felt probably the most comic booky ever.
for a Marvel film.
Yeah, like it. I think for me, this film was finally the one that was like, this is everything you've enjoyed
This
seeing
is
as
the
kids,
payoff,
you
yeah.
know? Because like when you're kids watching the like TV shows, reading the comics, they team up all the time. You can watch and read it whenever in the shows and stuff, and it was like so epic. And then in the films, it was always like, oh, we just want that crossover, and then we got a crossover, and now we have like all of them coming together and just this big massive fight with like everyone, like Ant-Man running through, punching down the fucking whatever they're called.
Oh yeah,
Falcon sliding, stabbing.
I mean, that was brutal.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just like, I was not
finally
expecting
some
to
great,
stab him, but-
yeah. They had a good balance
Damn.
of violence actually in that. They kind of really
And like
pulled
just
the
and
teeth
then
out
amongst
of it.
that, there's fucking Valkyrie flying on a Pegasus. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's epic. There's a random.
I like the
crazy
Hawkeye,
comic
like
shit.
tunnel scene. Like that felt very sort of
Yeah.
aliens-esque, where it's just by himself and it's just like, wait, what's over there? And then,
Yeah.
whoosh, just a bunch
Down
of them
to the, like,
cruisers.
red
like,
lights.
Runs, throws a
Run.
grenade. Well,
Yeah.
hits all the grenades into the sides and his arrow tips,
That was like,
and shoots up.
it was a nice way of like separating two different bits of action happening in the same like moment.
Battle
but
zone. Yeah.
they had different feelings to
Like Game
them,
of
which
Thrones.
good. It was
Very
there,
pleasing.
and then you get all the female superheroes fly in, and they're just like,
Yeah, I did enjoy that
you need a
moment. Like,
hand, and
yeah,
it's just like,
when
Oh.
they're helping Peter.
Peter.
Yeah. Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Peter
I
Parker.
thought that was a great
Yeah.
shot, having them all lined up. It kind of makes you go though, like, where's all the films for these characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a few of them
that's,
when you
that's
really
the
look at it, you
upsetting
go,
bit where you look at them and you're like, these are all essentially side characters.
Yeah, there's like 8 of them, I think, in total, maybe.
Well, yeah, there's Pepper Potts' rescue. There was, I'm fairly certain there was
Wasp.
a Koya.
Koya.
I don't think they had Nikita actually from Black Panther. You know, Lupita Nyong'o's character. I don't think she was there.
Maybe not in that
No, but
season,
his
but
body
she
Just
did
to
turn
throw
up.
that in,
She,
that was just
she
saying.
did turn up, but
I don't think she did.
yeah, she comes through a portal. You see her.
Yeah. She's at
No, his sister.
in
Yeah.
the lineup.
Yeah, his sister
Oh.
appears. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend,
Oh, his
in the
girlfriend.
film.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
actually
She's not there.
appears.
No, that's true.
But yeah, you get Shuri, his sister, and then Okoye is like, you know, one of
Yeah.
the
His
bodyguards.
bodyguard,
I can't
like,
you
remember
get
head
her
of
name.
Valkyrie.
Yeah, then you have Valkyrie, you have Pepper Potts, you have Captain Marvel,
Marvel.
Black Widow, Scarlet
Black-
Witch. Well, no, not Black Widow at that point. She's dead.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch.
That's an impressive trick.
Black
to put out
Widow's
there.
ghost.
She comes back for only a second.
She's just there ghosting.
Yeah, and then you go, only one of you has had a film so far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no.
I mean,
No,
maybe
it's not-
this is
it's
them
too much to
saying they
balance.
will
They
move on
Yeah.
and do like, I think it's A-Force, I think it is, which is like the female Avengers, like all female Avengers squad. And maybe they'll do that.
Do you think Gwyneth Paltrow is now going to be the new Iron Man?
No.
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 You can see
I think she might.
was
yeah.
slowly phased out
Yeah.
anyway, and even in Infinity War, she only had a very brief appearance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
So
glad
I
that
think
they
this is the
got her
biggest-
in this
yeah.
more, for, you know.
But I think
appearing
that's
in
the
this more
end.
than
She
everything
might
else.
pop up with the Tony's child now and again, maybe.
I hope
you might
so.
see her in Spider-Man Far From
I hope
Home.
it doesn't get completely forgotten about.
But yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're gonna sideline that for the moment.
Yeah, like when Tony was dying, and that's emotional, and then you get fucking War Machine there, and you get Spider-Man there, and it's like, oh, it's great. But whilst that was happening, I was just like, where the fuck is Pepper? You need Pepper in this scene right now. That's his wife.
Yeah.
Her husband is dying. Like, as much as it is like, okay,
Where is
they're,
it having a
they're
moment?
best friends, and they're, you know, they're fucking his mentor, protege sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, these are the fucking, they're married, they've been in love, she's
They've gone
been,
through so much stuff.
she
Had a
like,
kid
Pepper
together.
Potts is in the first one as Gwyneth Paltrow, like, War Machine's there, but it's not, you know, Don Cheadle as Terrence Howard. So it's like, you need to have her there, because she's actually fighting as well, get her there right fucking
Yeah.
now, like, I was internally screaming, being like, you better not fucking miss. You better not have her, like, him, like, dying and her just be off in the corner, like,
They're like,
I'm so sad that my husband's dead. It's
Oh,
like,
Tony!
you need, and thankfully they did, unlike,
Yeah.
you know, Bucky and Captain America. But
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
I'm
too
bitter about that,
satisfied
but
with
It's
their
a bit of
parting.
time.
Because it's because of Bucky that the whole Civil War happened.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's what split the
And they
Avengers
don't
team
really
right
have
down the
a
middle.
interaction
And they
throughout
don't,
the entire
no.
film.
And obviously, there's that bit where
'Cause
it
he's dead.
seems like Bucky
Yeah, but
kind of
it's-
knows that Cap's not coming back. That he's maybe Steve's told him his plan because there's a.
I don't think
I
he's told
you.
him.
But-
I think it's just he expects when he gets the opportunity to go back in time. He was like, I don't expect him to come back.
I read it as there was a slight knowing look because at the end he turns.
Yeah, that's
Well, I
what I'm
think
saying.
knows
But
he's
I don't
there.
think it was
Yeah, I
like
think
an
it's
explicit.
knowing to the
"We've
level of
told
being
each
like,
other."
they're best friends,
Yeah,
and he's gonna know that like if he hasn't come back, in which case, yeah,
it's going to be that.
I get it.
Yeah,
Dick
but it's-
move, bro.
fair
But
And then it's the knowing,
Get that,
he
get
turns
that.
and he knows
No,
that it's for
yes, I
Sam.
do.
It's like, go on, Sam, it's for you. You know, that was a bit. It's as if for me, he was in on the plan, the idea, so he knows where Cap's going to be, and he sends Sam to him, and that moment's all fine and lovely. But yeah,
I mean,
Bucky
for
just
me-
needs to
for
be
me,
there
that- yeah.
at the end of that whole
For-
conversation to have a moment with
for me,
Steve Rogers,
if
his
he
best
did
mate,
know
because-
anything about it, that would be almost worse.
Yeah, because
Because
they
it's
didn't
like,
show them having a
Bucky
conversation.
doesn't exist in this like world.
Oh yeah, in this
you
yeah,
know,
because
if anything, he's
if
the
Steve
one who
went back-
deserves most to go
yeah,
put back in time. You know, like as sad as it is for Captain America to be a man out of time, he's now spent like 10 years at least,
In that-
or
yeah.
like not even that. It would now be 15 almost years or something, considering his film's now set
that's
in
true. Actually,
2023.
yeah, okay, you got a good.
So it's like he's lived it. He's adjusted. Bucky is still technically
Back
only
in
just
those
come
times,
back
yeah.
from like, because you know in Civil War is when he really is sort of back as Bucky. Then he's put on ice throughout like all of Black Panther
until
really
his whole
until
Hydra
sort of
training can be
Infinity
flushed
War.
out.
So he's only there in Infinity War where he gets dusted, and now he's back and it's like he has nothing. So if he did know, I'd rather it been like,
he's
hey,
also-
we're gonna
yeah.
go back together, and it's like, oh.
He's also a super soldier, much like
Yeah.
but the Hydra's version. So there is also he's got
I
the
don't
potential.
think he is Hydra. I think it's supposed to be Hydra. I think he's
Yeah,
just,
I
because
don't
that's
know.
the whole
I think he's
the
just a
program.
Russian.
Because
Yeah,
in
because
Civil
it's
War,
it's
there's
Hydra
several
is
it's Hydra's thing, isn't it?
yeah,
It's part of Hydra.
incepted.
Yeah,
Because Hydra's
Hydra's
incepted
shield.
everything.
oh
It's
yeah,
like-
he gets super soldiered by Hydra. Yeah,
and then they had the 4
I was
or
thinking
5
more
other.
that when he's the Winter Soldier,
Yeah,
he's a Russian sleeper agent.
but he's actually a Hydra sleeper agent.
But I assumed it was KGB had been
Yeah.
taken over by Hydra, so therefore he was
Because
technically
Hydra
a
also
Hydra
took over
agent.
Shield.
Because he's
Yeah.
Hydra are everywhere.
Yeah,
That's the whole
point of
of
Hydra.
them.
I know, it's just it
So-
wasn't like explicit.
Like although Russian, I also believe Hydra.
Yeah.
Just Russian
yeah,
department.
it's easy enough
Yeah.
to
To be like,
think
oh,
that.
you're
Transfers
from
it
the US,
over.
oh, you're from-
Yeah, because there was
It's
those
just you
other
think
super
it'd be a bit
soldiers
more
as well
obvious
that
that
were put in.
when when Baron Zemo and they're all in that place in the Civil War, they would have been like, "This is a Hydra base," and there's like a fucking Hydra symbol.
Yeah, I guess it
Yeah.
was missing the iconography.
You think we're
So
going
I
to
just
get
thought
Hydra
right.
in Phase 4?
Hold the podcast.
Well, no, because
Rewatch.
no,
Let's see. Let's go.
Because after he gets found by Hydra,
Yeah, he's found
yeah,
by Hydra.
okay,
He's
no,
found
no.
by-
he's
Hydra.
he's captured by Hydra.
Yeah.
He's experimented on by Hydra, i.e., Toby Jones's character, Doctor Zela or whatever his name
Zemo.
is. No, Baron Zemo is the other guy.
Oh yeah.
And then in the train scene, he gets his arm shot off, or what? No, he gets shot out of the train, and he crashes into like the snowy tundra where he loses his arm, and then he's picked up by the Russians.
I thought that was Hydra picking him up
No,
because Hydra
they never
investigating the
explicitly
train.
say it's Hydra.
But he's not experimented on until after that train.
No, he's not. He's experimented on before the train.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he
he
is.
gets captured.
Because he gets
by
captured,
Hydra. Captain
Which
America
is what
goes
makes
through the
Captain
prisoners.
America decide to stop doing the shows and actually fight in the
Oh,
war.
and then
So then he saves him and a bunch of other people, and then they form their.
yeah, okay, and
their
but he's
gang,
not super
which
powered
I-
then.
Well, they don't know he's super.
But that's why I think after he falls out of the train and he's found, it's Hydra that find him again.
I mean, even
Because
if
they're
he's
he's
already
reclaiming
been
their resource.
experimented
for
on
me,
by Hydra.
even if KGB are the ones who pick
But
him up, I'm
You
like,
even have
it's
the
Hydra,
whole
which would
yeah.
have
You even
been-
have the whole scene
like,
of
you
him
could,
being
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
right.
they do eventually.
Rewatch. we gotta
However,
rewatch.
I can tell you, it's not at this point ever said that it's Hydra he's with, because he's then.
It's not said there, is it?
He's,
Yeah.
No, it is because it said he's
No,
with
it's
the
not
Russians.
said there, isn't. The Russians can be Hydra as well.
Look, if Hydra,
Look, if Americans
if
can be
Hydra-
Hydrans,
if Hydra are already in S.H.I.E.L.D., so they're already working with Howard Stark and his fucking powerful suitcase of super soldier serum in the car, there would be no reason for Russian Hydra to send the Winter Soldier to go kill Howard Stark.
The Winter
to
Soldier
get
program was a
Super
top
Soldier.
secret Hydra project started by Arnim Zola that involved brainwashing American soldier James Bushan Barnes and turning him into a deadly assassin for Hydra using a serum similar to the Super Soldier serum.
Is that just comics or movies specifically?
The Winter Soldier program, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Boom.
That still doesn't make sense. Why did they send him to go kill Stark?
Because why place both
Because-
your bets on
Yeah,
either
but why-
side?
yeah,
And
but why
also
do
Stark doesn't
Yeah,
have...
but they also
it
they're
doesn't
they're
wanna be
Shield,
part
aren't
of
they?
it.
They're
He's a good
also
man,
Shield, and
essentially.
Yeah, I know,
Shield's
that's-
doing
that's what
good
I'm
around
saying.
the world.
So Shield and Stark have the super soldier serum.
Look,
There's
what-
no reason. I get them
because
wanting
it's
to
the
assassinate
idea
him,
of
but they
you're
don't
Stark
need to
who
steal
creates
the.
it, and you also want to hedge your bets on both sides. Like Palpatine.
Yeah, but there isn't
in-
two sides.
But he's using-
There isn't two sides.
Yeah.
They're both of them. They're
Yeah,
one
Yeah,
person.
but it's like
But then-
Palpatine in Star Wars,
I know,
the
but that-
prequel
I'm saying
series,
you
where he
can't
fights on
compare
both
that.
sides.
But, you know, the
Yeah, but
serum's
he's doing
destroyed.
that to get the power.
When
He's
Cap-
already got the
When
power.
Captain's
But-
done, there's that explosion. The serum's destroyed. So Hydra create one similar. Howard Stark has nothing to do with the serum.
Yeah, because that's
No,
what
because
he
it's the
gets.
Doctor.
No, Winter Soldier in Civil War gets the serum from Howard Stark, which he then returns to Hydra Russia, and then they create other super soldiers from it.
Maybe they just want a better version that Howard Stark just
Yeah,
happened
because
to
they're
have.
using a similar version of the super serum. That's what the cinematic universe is saying.
I
right
know,
here.
but what I'm saying is they steal the serum from the Starks. That's why he kills
Oh
the
them.
no,
Starks.
yeah, because then they use it to create the 4 new recruits.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the serum that they've got on him doesn't obviously work because there's some shit
Yeah, I know.
movie.
That's what I'm saying. But
But,
why would you do that if you're already
in
Hydra?
control of the
Hydra
Yeah,
don't need to
thing?
sneak around and pretend
Okay,
to
in
get
here,
from
in
Hydra.
1991, Vasily Karpov, the program's leader, defrosted Barnes in the Hydra Siberian facility with the Winter Soldier book. He activated Barnes and sent him to the United States of America to retrieve the Super
Yeah, but we're
Soldier
talking
serum
about 60.
from Howard Stark's car. Barnes assassinated Stark and his wife and returned to Siberia with the serum to form Hydra's top kill squad.
So yeah, they messed up there.
Yeah, they probably messed up, but at the same time,
We're digging out the
people,
holes.
people play
They've
games with
left.
themselves.
There's no reason. They just be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're creating new super soldiers, and
Well, maybe
we're
Howard,
getting it
maybe Howard
re-synthesized.
Stark knew something,
Yeah,
and that's why he was taking
So
it
yeah,
with him
you're
in
right
the
with
car,
him
and
being
then that's
trained
why-
on by Zola's experiment because that's what's happening in the interrogation scene. That's why he survives the fall because of Zola's version of
Yeah,
the Super
exactly.
Soldier
He's
serum,
already.
which is given to him.
But maybe it's the fact that Howard Stark had suspicions of maybe what was
Who
going on,
knows?
and that's why he took the thing, and that's
He
why
may
he
not
then
have even
crashes
been a
the
part
car.
of Shield.
Or maybe he didn't know, and
Yeah, see, it
you know,
says
it's
here
just
Zola
like,
continued the
people play
experiments on
games.
Barnes after he joined Operation Paperclip, which was became a scientist for Shield.
But Zola was at Shield. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was at Shield, but working for Hydra. So then he's got a form of super serum, but it's not perfect. So that's why they
but
get the
Scott's
super
serum.
point
That's-
is
yeah, that's
that
not
if
my point.
Hydra is
Oh
in
no,
power,
because the super serum used on Bucky, the facility that he's being experimented
Yeah,
on,
but my
Yeah,
point
it's life,
is,
isn't it?
they're Shield. Howard Stark works for Shield. Howard Stark has the super
Yeah.
serum that Winter Soldier kills him for in the 90s.
I'm gonna say
If
As
the
it-
Russians are also Hydra,
yeah, if
that
Hydra
have the Winter
control
Soldier
of both
program,
sides,
they have no reason
Why?
to make such an open execution
my thought,
just to get something they already own. For
no, but
another
he joined
asset.
Shield later, maybe.
No, because he's dead.
Zola.
no, if Thingy kills Howard Stark, then he can't join Shield because he's dead by that point, which means he's already part of Shield, which means he's already created super serum, which means why do they kill Howard Stark unless Howard Stark was already
Yeah.
taking it? We don't know. Maybe they haven't explored it yet. Maybe that's something that's going to happen now because we've talked about it and they're listening.
Yeah, they've got ideas. They're like, fuck, we have to cover this up.
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a
They're not gonna
Rogue
do
One
that.
Marvel's-
movie.
If they
Marvel
do,
have a
if they
little
do that,
thing
then
that
they're going to have
detects
to
when
a
someone
total
picks up a
different
plot hole and they're
universe.
like, quickly,
Yeah.
fucking write a
There's got to
story.
be a different universe when Captain Marvel and Nick Fury find the Tesseract, because in the first Avenger film, Nick Fury has no idea what the Tesseract is, despite the fact that he went and got it from
Yeah,
his
exactly, that
spaceship.
was
So that's
stupid.
a massive plot hole there. Stupid. Yeah, I can't forgive that one, but I can. Super serum confusion there, I'm okay with.
Hydra's just shit at planning.
I mean, I think it's just Hydra maybe find themselves sometimes inside.
You gotta make it
you
look
got
it.
partisan
Yeah.
aspects to everything.
You got
when
Shield
have
to make it
someone-
look like they're doing something against the bad guys.
But also, not everyone in Shield is maybe evil, so you have to still somehow move it to another.
Yeah, which is the whole
location,
thing
which
with
is
Nick Fury
more
going underground
stronger.
when he's part of
Yeah,
Shield.
but the whole point of the Winter Soldier is showing how bad Shield actually
Yeah,
is,
how-
and they're almost over half of them are hydrated.
But maybe not in the 90s.
Yes.
No, because the
Not
whole
as bad
thing
in the
started with
90s.
Zola.
Yeah, but it's got...
Who at
Piggy-
that point?
Piggy Twain...
Who
Piggy-
at that
Piggy-
point? I have no
Piggy-
idea what the fuck you're gonna say.
Steve's girlfriend.
Peggy
Peggy
Carter.
Carter.
Peggy Carter.
Calling her Piggy.
Piggy Twain.
Piggy Twain. Peggy Carter. Like, she's a good person, right?
Yeah.
She's part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
60s, 50s. I don't think she knew that it was Hydra. So you gotta assume not everyone within
Well, obviously
S.H.I.E.L.D.
she doesn't
is
know it's
part of
Hydra. However, she
However,
still is willingly
that means
working
there
with
are-
Zola as a computer.
But people may
Which is
develop
canonically
suspicion.
shown in Endgame, because when he goes back to whenever it is, I think the 70s, and he sees Peggy Carter in her office, they also talk about Zola's computer brain in that exact same bunker that he's in that he found in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People were, like, Americans
So
were
the whole
Nazi
idea-
scientists after World War II to create
Yeah, I know,
rockets
and the
stuff.
whole
So
idea...
therefore,
Yeah,
exactly.
but the
just
whole-
assume that-
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole idea is that because of that, Hydra has always... S.H.I.E.L.D. has always been Hydra.
Yeah.
That was the whole point in Winter Soldier. It was like, yeah, they took me, Zola, I eventually transferred my brain into a computer, but I've always made S.H.I.E.L.D. secretly Hydra.
I still think there's going to be some people
Yeah, still
inside
we
who are
don't know.
going to be
Hence
like...
the
Yeah, I know
theory
some
going
people don't
underground,
know,
Peggy
but
Carter.
enough people know that you can easily, they've done everything else off
But
the books, you can very
my
easily
point,
Exactly
quickly
like
my
secretly
point-
hiding in
my
plain
point,
sight. Captain
then-
America even says it in Endgame. Hiding
My
in plain
point
sight.
then being that perhaps Howard figured out what was going on.
Hence
trying
why
to
he's
take
leaving with the
thing,
serum, and that's when he
leaving
gets
with it,
assassinated.
And then they're like, he's
Perhaps.
leaving with it.
Third plot
and
hole
we've been aware of him.
solved.
So we stop him, we fuck him up, and we take it, and then it's all covered up by the idea that the KGB just did a hit
Yeah.
on a friendly agent on the US soil. Boom! I fixed the hole.
Yeah, but
Now make a
nobody
film
knows
about
there's
it,
a
Marvel.
KGB.
We already don't know. That's the backstory that you filled
No,
in for
but-
that scene. That is.
Come on, let's face
unsaid.
it, communists are everywhere in America.
But whoever updates the Marvel Cinematic
Goodness.
Universe wiki, just take that idea and write it in now, because that is going to explain that loophole, that plot hole, not loophole.
If anyone else has
Yeah.
had a problem with
Done.
that.
But yeah,
Anyway,
Hydra shit.
Hydra
If
shit.
they can't get the super serum soldier from S.H.I.E.L.D.,
you can't get
to
good
Russia,
dictators now.
they're shit.
Hey, Howard knew he stole it. He was trying to hide it from him.
take it now.
Yeah.
But,
But
yeah.
Endgame-
Anyway, back to
Endgame
Bucky
was a
and
good...
Captain America saying goodbye.
That-
Unfortunately,
yeah,
we didn't
exactly,
get the ending
that
that,
was
they should have
all
done.
this.
You know, you've just heard how it split three brothers almost. So
They caused all this shit, and then they turn around, they're like, yeah, it wasn't that big a deal.
but then obviously that whole scene is meant to be that another multiverse is opened up by Steve going back in time and then living in
Yeah.
an alternate dimension,
They kind
There's
of
at
or an
least three.
alternate timeline,
fixed.
which is why he
Some
jumps
trouble.
back.
Of course.
They
That's
don't fix anything.
No,
No.
but they kind of fixed the troubles that they might have caused by being like, "Hey, time travel," and then they're like, create
Yeah,
some
we'll
multiple
quickly
universes,
cover that
and It's
up.
like, okay, well,
which
that
leads us
solves
on quite
things.
nicely to how in the new Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, if you haven't seen it already,
They mention it.
there's a mention of the multiverse.
Yeah, because
That's where Mysterio comes from.
Apparently Mysterio is from a different Earth.
So that
Which
kind
I'm
of
interested
yeah,
in.
I'm interested.
I mean, he
in
may be
how's that going to
right.
link?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Snap.
He's
this
a
is true.
he's a
Bring it
mysterious
back.
man.
He's a trickster of sorts,
It's mysterious.
which
isn't
also
it?
means Loki's alive still.
Mysterio.
But,
Maybe
I mean,
he
we-
is Loki.
We
He's
know
got similar
Loki's
colours
alive
scheme.
because he steals the Tesseract in 2012 now.
That's a
Which-
different
and
universe.
disappears.
yeah, which opens up another universe,
I know.
That's a different
I know,
universe.
but I'm
though.
which
saying
I'm
we
excited
know-
for because it means
We
Loki's
know he's
coming back.
alive now. That's
So
what I'm saying.
yeah, and we know that the multiverse is a real thing. It's been confirmed by the directors, the Russo brothers.
Exactly.
This new Spider-Man film is confirming that, or maybe not. Like you said, he could be lying. But I'm
I
quite
doubt
happy
it.
that it's
Yeah,
exciting.
I think they'll just stick with the idea that multiple universes.
Yeah,
'cause
like we said, because it opens it up for other characters to
But will
reprise
they
their roles
risk
if needs
showing
be.
a living Tony Stark in an alternate universe and Peter being like,
Yeah, because then it takes away
Pappy,
from Tony's
Pappy.
death.
because I can
Pappy.
show
And it'd be
them
too
doing that
soon.
because
It'd be way
it
too
would
soon
be
for
emotional
that
to
to
be
be
like, oh, he's seeing this guy in a different universe and he might not even know who he is. And it's
See, that
very
would
like,
be really emotional if they were just like, he goes, sees another Tony Stark, and Tony Stark's like, oh,
Oh,
fuck
no,
you
here
are,
you are.
kid.
Get out of here, kid.
And it's just like, oh,
Hey, punk. Where do you get this tech from? You stealing
Where
from
the
me?
but I feel like, yeah, ultimately it'd take away from a lot of things.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
were just like, and here's Robert Downey Jr.
so
back in his
soon as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not Iron Man on this
Yeah.
planet.
Give it another 2 to 5
He's
years.
just still
5 years, I
dickhead.
think, minimum.
He's called
And just
Warmonger
have
on
him
this planet.
turn up.
Yeah.
That'd
He
be great.
wasn't against war.
Warmonger's already a
Yeah.
character. I don't know if you.
I'm
remember
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, because he's the guy from first
Yeah,
Iron
Jeff
Man
Bridges.
film, Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges.
I'm excited. One of my favourite
Yeah,
lines
spicy.
from it is
Oh, good,
Nick
good,
Fury
good
being, "Bitch, please, you went to outer space." Love that bit of dialogue. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a highlight of the trailer for me.
Just hearing-
It's
hearing,
classic
"Bitch,
Samuel L.
please,
Jackson.
Samuel-
Bitch, please, you went to
Bitch,
space.
please, you were in space.
You should have said motherfucker.
Yeah.
I
What
wonder-
the please?
I wonder if the cop they're showing him talking to is supposed to maybe be linked to Miles Morales. They've already
that
got-
could work because
They've already
then that
got
would open
Childish
up the
Gambino, his
Spider-Man.
uncle in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad's in cut. I mean, you know, who knows?
Who knows? Just saying.
Any
The
cop could
Spider-Verse was a
Could
great
just
film.
be an average.
You haven't seen that? That is a must-see. I don't care.
Yeah.
That is hands down, I think, the best Spider-Man film.
I do wonder
I've
if they
seen.
saw Spider Verse
Sorry,
as
Spider-Man
success.
3 is fantastic. Thank you very much.
The Death of Tobey
Do
Maguire.
you like jazz?
I do wonder if they saw a Spider Verse and they were just like multiverse. Everyone's okay with that.
Let's go. We tested it.
Next, we're going to get
It's in the
clone.
new
But that would
Spider-Man
be
film.
that would
Like-
be brilliant.
After they run out of doing multiverse characters and bringing out, oh, here's a different Spider-Man, all this stuff, again, we're like, what about clones? Can we do
But
clones?
this is how they finally link the Sony Spider Universe with this new Marvel Spider-Man universe. They just go like, boom, Spider-Verse.
You could bring back
MC
all the
universe.
Spider-Men.
Exactly.
Tobey Maguire.
Could you imagine?
And he's
oh
still
my God,
emo.
that would
He's
be
got his
brilliant.
sweet
Andrew
top to one hat.
Garfield.
I would love to see. Like, I want
That
to see
could work.
Tobey Maguire.
That'd be
and Andrew
great.
Garfield
Just even
in
if it's like a
Spider-Verse,
cameo
really.
role. You
Yeah.
could work. No, actually, no. There needs to be a full film for it. I'd like to see that. But then would it take away? I don't know. They're doing something because obviously at the end of Spider-Verse,
I don't
it was
think it's
Spider-Verse
continuation.
was successful.
Yeah. And they bring it to the live
And I
action.
want to see Tobey Maguire again in the Spider-Man costume.
I think that'd be great. A
Because
lot of people
he was
like
awesome. He was great.
I also want to see them cast Jake Johnson as an actual live-action Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like that. But he plays like the Spider-Man.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is
he's
basically
his Spider-Man.
he's
yeah.
the Spider-Man he is in
Wearing
Spider-Verse.
slippers.
It's just
and
I
like
think
But
a
then
that'd
would
be
you
great.
bring would you bring the Chris Pine Spider-Man in?
Yeah, I'd be open to see Chris Pine.
Just bring all the
Spider-Man.
Just bring everyone into that. Make
Give
it
us a
live
live
action.
action
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Give us Nicolas Cage
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Noir. That would be amazing.
I would love
Just
it.
Tone back some of
Haley
the sort of
Steinfeld
crazy
appears as
aesthetics of that
Spider-Gwen.
film, and boom, done. And then you can have Emma Stone come in as Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen. Two Spider-Gwen?
I mean, she's back in the
Yeah, you can have
franchise.
two Spider-Gwens.
We can have as
Yeah.
many spider things as we want.
And then with this
Spider Buggy.
multiverse,
Spider-
You can bring back what's her face? The fucking the one
Kirsten
in
Dunst. Kristen
no
Dunst.
Ron Howard's daughter, Bryce Dallas Howard, also as Spider-Gwen because she plays Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3 Tobey Maguire movies. That would be hilarious.
I'd like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it'd work.
Bring it all back.
Just bring it
Bring
in.
James
Just
Franco
a
back as the Green
Oh my God.
Goblin.
Just
Even though he
huge
died,
mashup.
just be like, yeah, he's back.
No, Willem Dafoe back as the Green
Dude, I
Goblin.
love William Dafoe. I want him to have another role. He can play Doctor Doom.
No, we already talked about
Yeah.
this. Michael Fassbender would be perfect.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking up our Fantastic Four vision now with William Dafoe throwing that name in there.
William Dafoe can.
Mads Mikkelsen would have been good, but he's
Yeah.
he's already kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's been in there as Doctor Strange. What's his name? What's the bad guy?
Unimportant bad guy.
Yeah, who's just a
Unimportant bad
vessel
guy.
for or a messenger.
He's
Marvel.
just some Dormammu acolyte.
Still upset.
I
that
mean,
they
you could
made,
still make Mads
Doctor
Mikkelsen.
Strange American. If you got
Yeah, when you
Benedict
get Benedict
Cumberbatch, just make
Cumberbatch
him
playing
use
him, you
his
could have
British
just
accent,
because
you
it
could have
sounds
just
weird.
made
Yeah.
it English
top hot.
because it's
Shit hot
still the
actor.
just-
Actor. He is a shit hot actor, but a shit hot
He is a
doctor who's
shit
travelled across the water to become
exactly.
a
You could
top
still have him
private
be the
surgeon
same character
in
where he's,
America.
like, he's a greedy, selfish dickhead, and he's now moved over to America
To make
where
all the
you
money.
make money as
The
like you make
privatisation of
serious money
healthcare.
and yeah,
'Cause
privatise.
I don't like
He had enough of the
American
NHS.
accent.
No,
I hate it.
exactly. He's like
the only English person that I can really think of that does a good American accent is Daniel Radcliffe.
I don't know,
So-
Tom
I
Holland.
mean, I think yeah.
Tom-
Tom Holland's
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
he is
Spider-Man.
English.
Yeah, he's English and he does it pretty good.
God,
A
that's
load
impressive.
of British
Robert Parks
actors
too.
do great American accents.
Yeah.
It's easier often for
Yeah.
them because we're so surrounded by American media. But
And they just had a
yeah,
few
I
twangs.
think Benedict Cumberbatch has got such a like iconic voice almost at this point that it's
Yeah.
like, what's the point of having him be
That's
American?
American.
Yeah,
guy.
like
He's always
in
putting it on, and he's like, Tony Stark.
Like even in the Grinch, they
Fuck
did.
that was.
Yeah, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Don't touch that, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, like even in the Grinch, they made him have an American
Yeah, that's
accent.
the
Yeah.
I'm
one.
just
That's
like,
the.
ah.
Why get him to voice a character and then not use his voice?
Yeah,
So weird. And
Hey.
it's who's in Whoville. It can sound like anything.
thing is, he sounds more sinister if he has his British accent.
Yeah,
When
well,
he does-
Smog's
Yeah.
a perfect example for that.
It's
instead of
supposed to
doing his
be
American
evil.
like, oh, I'm just depressed about stuff. Fucking
I'm the
beans.
Grinch.
I haven't seen the Grinch
You
either.
want this?
I haven't
I'm
seen
gonna
it.
put it on a higher shelf.
yeah, Jim Carrey's
it's not
version was
great. Jim Carrey's
fantastic.
Exactly. It looked shit.
How about that Sonic trailer there?
One thing I am
That
glad
was horrific.
pleased about,
Resetting.
rewind, brain fart. One thing I'm happy
And
about
welcome
with
back
the
to
Sonic,
GeekVault podcast.
From
That's
top
what
we're
it
to
just we're just three brothers here to talk to you about the stuff
check
we
out
like.
our website at www.geekvault.co.uk.
Fuck that.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yes, I love how we work that in at some point.
Slide it in.
Always.
That's what she said.
Some them DM.
So you were saying
But as I was saying, lost my train of thought.
Sonic?
Got it there.
Sonic,
Sonic.
yeah.
What I like is they released the trailer.
Everyone was
People
like,
hit
"That's
back and
fucking
went,
awful."
"This is terrible. We don't like the fucking design of Sonic. What is that?" And they went, "Okay, we're gonna take that back. Sorry, we've listened. We've
Yeah.
heard you. We're gonna rework Sonic
Yeah.
to make him look better." The film still looks
Let's hope they
awful,
do.
but the fact that they're reworking Sonic
I don't think
is
yeah,
that's quite a big moment in his, in this kind of era for a film to
Yeah.
do that. That's big.
Definitely,
Because the other
that's
thing
about
is
the
you
only
got
thing I'll appreciate.
dozen
from
of
that film.
animators now who have to go back through a film.
Yeah, I feel
And,
sorry for them.
Redo it.
Well, someone was saying it's because the modelling is already there. You just
Yeah,
got
you
yeah,
just
you just got to
rechange
put it
the
back
skin.
on. You just got to
Skin.
reskin it
But it's
and
unless
then
you,
like touch up certain like hair.
but if you're going to
Yeah,
change out the
animations.
skeleton because he's a
I don't think
tall,
they're gonna
lanky
change it.
boy with the body
I don't
of
think
I think
an
they're going to
8-year-old
stay. I think they're
child.
going to stick with that. They're just going to make his eyes a bit more like the Sonic
They're just
eyes,
going
and
to change his
maybe
head.
yeah.
Give him
Yeah.
like
They-
proper
well,
like
you've
big feet.
You
and
must have seen
hands.
all the memes that come in
A
where
lot
you
of
have
people.
the film version, the version that someone's photoshopped, which looks
Yeah.
great, and fans are like, yeah, and
But
then
if
you
you-
have it slowly decline
Yeah.
to
But if
the
you look at
horrendous, like an abomination of
those,
Sonic.
the ones that they rework, they typically change the body proportions slightly, so that way he has slightly shorter legs and slightly shorter arms.
Yeah, but the
He's shorter in general.
the
to
bone
just
rig
be
underneath
more
it should
accurate.
be able. We'll
Exactly,
stick with
I
it
don't think
fine.
it'll do that.
It's more the skinning and the actual animation.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking
features
because if
and
you
the
you
hairs.
make him sure, you got to change where the
no,
joints
no,
are.
the
essentially.
joints will stay there. You just shrink the skeleton
Yeah.
down. You can move the bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Quite easily, and
It works.
it's got all the handles and stuff.
At the end of the day,
To
it's still going to be
resize.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
It could be a
You
surprise.
can
to-
reskin it, and people will still be like, "Cool."
Personally,
It still looks shit.
people are going crazy. Actually,
It's
I'm
no
gonna use this
Detective
term.
Pikachu.
They're gonna
I'll tell
go.
you that.
They're going buck wild because I want to use that for Jim Carrey.
Pull that out. Buckwild.
And I'm honestly not too impressed with Jim Carrey. Being
I mean, yeah,
Eggman. He's all right,
yeah.
but
I
I'm
always
just
enjoy Jim Carrey to an extent.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
His
not,
time's
I'm
been
not too
gone,
fond of him.
unfortunately. I love
anymore.
him in his earlier films, but now he's I don't know.
Like-
Where is he at? We obviously there was that documentary
Yeah,
that was released on Netflix. Jim Carrey and
And
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman, and that was an incredible insight into part
Being
of his
an asshole.
past
Was it
that
called, like,
that
yeah.
completely almost kind of like did
Yeah.
a psychological number on him and rewired him to. That maybe explains why he is like he is
I
now,
don't think.
but
No.
no.
his
I think that was just
Careers.
who he was
been
back in his prime when he was like felt connected to the work.
yeah. When he was in it,
Yeah.
now he's dissociated.
I think he's
himself
gone
think
to a
he's
point where
now
he's
just-
like, I'm
I think
not
he
sure about this
peaked.
business.
I think he just peaked in fame, and he was just like he reached a point
Yeah.
where
He did what Shia LaBeouf went through, which is
I mean,
you
I
just
wouldn't-
kind of. It's
Yeah,
different because he was a child star actor
Yeah.
as a Disney
Yeah.
thing, and that fucks up every Disney actor.
I think it's something
But-
like a
Not from
lot
Ryan
of
Reynolds.
people who are
Yeah.
Not
particularly
Ryan
like
Reynolds. Was he part of the Mickey
famous
Mouse
and
Club?
funny.
Ryan Gosling
Ryan
obviously was.
Gosling was with.
I mean, it fucked him up. Did you see him
Yeah.
in Drive?
It's very solid.
Yeah, I
It's
think-
feels straight out of
Yeah,
the
I think
hammer.
it's just like a lot of people who do the whole funny thing are obviously always got some sort of depression or something, and perhaps that's something he always had, like Robin Williams, and now he's just reached a point where he's I don't know he go off the rails maybe,
Yeah, and it's coming
Yeah.
back. But
and yeah, it is just when life is so like what the fuck is it anyway, and then when you add like shit tons of cash to that, and you're just like, fuck, you can
Yeah,
do anything
I
and
think he
nothing
got
means
divorced.
anything.
Did he?
Yeah, it's important, and
I think
there's a whole.
his
Let's not get into it.
ex-girlfriend
There's
committed
got
suicide.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And blamed him in the suicide
Yeah,
note,
the
and his
family
family were
on
like
it.
suing him.
So he's had a crazy.
And then he
few
was going
years.
into art, and then he regretted doing Kick-Ass after like Sandy
Yeah.
Hook shooting.
Became
He
very
was just
anti-gun,
like,
which is fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think
You know, it's kind of just step back.
I'm happy that he's getting back into like films and even like light-hearted films in a way. But I think
It's more his forte,
maybe
isn't it?
I would be glad to see him do more Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine type
Yeah.
films, and like
It's
really,
It's
like
Sunshine.
really get him running
it's
in
fun,
his.
One of my
but
favourite
also
films.
it's still
Because he is a great
fun.
actor, you know. Truman Show's a great film. Eternal Sunshine, great films, and he does a great job in both of those. He's a good actor.
What's it
So
called?
I even liked him in 23. That's one of
Oh
my
yeah,
films,
23 I
but-
actually really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed 23.
Top Secrets.
Uh,
I wouldn't call myself Top Secrets. What?
23,
I
23.
was sure.
Thumbs everywhere.
What's the one where
I'm a
it's,
jam. Do you like jam?
which is the one where he does the VCR VHS guy,
Cable Guy.
cable guy,
Okay.
cable guy.
Yeah, Cable Guy's
Yeah.
brilliant. Again,
Like that's another
Love
good
that.
one. But personally,
I'd love to go to that restaurant they go to where the knights fight
Oh,
all
yeah.
around.
I like
That'd be
Renaissance.
fucking
I think
brilliant.
that is real. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
no,
apparently
it is.
Renaissance thing.
Man, I'd love to.
Probably still. Anyway, back to what were we saying?
yeah, I
They have
personally would have cast John Goodman to be Eggman in the new Sonic
Yeah,
film,
someone who
'cause
looks a bit more like.
he looks a bit more
Dr.
like
Ross,
him,
yeah.
and I
No,
think
thanks.
he could do a fun
fun
job.
job.
Eggman.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know him as Eggman.
Yeah,
So
I was just like,
but his
are
actual
those
name-
two different characters? No, they're the same. Yeah, because he's shaped like an
Yeah, he
egg.
doesn't look
Yeah.
very Eggman-y
It's his, like,
aside
code
from
name.
his big moustache.
Yeah,
So,
and the
he's
moment
round.
when he's trapped in the desert and he's like, whoosh, and he's got.
Oh, yeah,
goggles
they
and a
showed
big
that bit, yeah.
moustache
Oh yeah,
and,
well,
like, a
yeah,
big
and he's got the
nose,
kind
and
of
it's like,
classic look to him, the red jacket.
ah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
It's a film no one asked for.
No,
Exactly. I don't know what made
Whereas,
them think
what
this
was it
one
you
would
said
be
the other day?
successful.
Detective
they
Pikachu is a
saw
film
Detective Pikachu.
no one asked for. You didn't know you wanted it, but
Oh,
when you
yeah,
see the
exactly.
trailer, I think you want to
When
see
they
that film.
announced
isn't it?
Detective Pikachu and it was like Ryan Reynolds' voice, I was like, wow.
on, bitch,
and then I
please.
saw the first trailer, I was like, I'm in love.
This is great. I can't
This
wait.
is all
Yeah.
I want, and I didn't even know.
See, I wanted live action Stitch, and what did they give me? Sonic. And I'm like, that's not what we wanted.
Yeah, we
asked
That's
for
a
live-
different blue boy.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for James Marsden. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Doing Westworld right now. You gotta be breaking free of these crappy films.
crappy roles. You had your X-Men heyday, and then since then you kind of gone back to just doing these little side characters and shitty films.
Yeah.
Because what is it? Sex Drive.
Sex Drive, I think he's hilarious.
A great film. He's good in that, but again, it was just a small cider roll. Small cider roll. Small cider roll. And then I can't even think of other films he's been in since where you've gone, hey, it's James Marsden.
So, hey. Yeah, no, the main thing is
Apart
really
from-
Westworld.
yeah, Westworld,
where it's like
and-
he plays Teddy.
Yeah, and that was brilliant.
Yeah.
He was brilliant in that. I'm rewatching it at the moment because Lee hasn't seen it, so I'm so in Westworld right now.
Nice.
Need
Just
to,
as a
need to
side note.
finish
Yeah,
off
we need
the
to finish
second
season
season.
two.
I didn't even finish off the first season, so this is a real.
This is
it
a
was
real
so good.
run.
I didn't want to let it end. I didn't want to see the ending.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Now there's
That's the
2 seasons. There's lots of
Oh,
me to
yeah.
watch. Lots of me to watch.
There's
Lots
so
of
much of me to
There's lots of
watch.
me. There's lots for me to watch.
He
And,
just turns
it's
off
great.
the TV and he
Yeah,
just
I
stares.
stare at my reflection in the dark
Whoa,
screen.
look at me go.
Oh, I
Black
stare into
Mirror.
the abyss, and the abyss stares back.
Reverie in the dark.
Revelry.
I was born in the darkness.
God,
Bissell Black Body.
rewatching
Slender.
My Hero Academia has been great as well.
Yeah. I finished that way too quickly.
Yep.
That's upsetting.
So,
Still need to watch the movie though. Again.
Again,
Seen it.
seen it once.
Want to rewatch the movie.
Want to see it a second time.
so obviously, as we mentioned at the start,
Yeah,
as
as
we mentioned
mentioned,
at the
trying to
start,
talk about Game
Game
of
of
Thrones.
Thrones.
And we've kind of
we're kind of running
Yeah,
out of time, so we're going to
up
briefly
to
touch on
date
it
on
now.
the episodes. 4 of the 6 are out now, and like for a last season, it's been pretty lackluster.
yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
on a definite whole. I know you enjoyed this last episode. I think.
I thought last episode was the best episode they've had so far. There's
Of
still
this
a lot
season.
to lack of
Of
this
this
season, yeah,
Nothing
because
comes close
there
to
was
the first
actually
3
a
seasons.
bit more dialogue, and some of the characters like Tyrion and the spider
Varys.
Varys
seemed to go back to being a bit more like the characters that we know from the first few seasons, where they're talking and plotting.
It just all
was
felt
good to see
so
that, although it
rushed.
still felt like they were a shell of the characters that they were when we see them. Obviously, a lot has gone on, but I don't think
But a lot of
they've
stuff
really
that
been
they
developed.
forced in there.
It is rushed. They've just kind of wedged them in, and they're like, "Well,
the
we've got
writers don't know how to
tie
write these
stuff up."
Well, it
characters.
feels like, it seems pretty obvious that D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, whatever, they've spent 10 years doing this, and they're just like, we want to go, so let's end this as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So, I feel
There
like
is
it would have
a
been
fear of
better if they just been like, you know
Passed
what,
on
we've
to
had
a few more
enough.
writers. Yeah.
And then,
Someone
it's not like there would be a lack of people willing to jump on and try and keep this going. So, and at least they could have bowed out and been like, had what might have potentially been the best seasons, i.e. the first 3, or
Now
4.
instead they're kind of running
But
hard
now it's like,
into the ground.
Yeah, everyone's going to remember this as being like, oh, once you got away from the source material, you were shit, and that's your fault.
because
And
you built up to this big moment.
it
and it's
completely
falling
worries
flat.
me that after...
Like, I get it, because it's kind of like you've started something, you want to finish it, you want to be the guys to take it to its grave, essentially.
yeah.
So, I get it, but yeah, it's that thing.
You could have gone, and George Martin has said himself, it's like, he doesn't know why they ended it so early. Even with the stories they've written themselves, if you just remove the whole fast travel, you can then extend it.
Yeah.
And they could have gone easily another couple more seasons out of this.
Yeah.
Because you can then just write the episodes more intricately with other
Yeah.
things happening and going
and actually
on
properly
and
tie
plotting.
up those things, because the Melisandre, the Red Witch, her whole moment in the Battle for Winterfell felt so shoehorned in there. She just appears before she comes from the direction that the army of the dead are. Somehow she's just appeared there.
It was
she
just
comes
like,
in.
hey, remember how 3 seasons ago I said we'd meet again, are you?
And you'll kill me.
I'm here now.
Yeah, and then it's the whole need to set fire to the trench. She just walks out. Come on,
And
a
the
sense of
dragons are
urgency,
doing
and then
nothing.
she's somehow hiding in this room full of dead bodies, just standing there when Arya and the Hound come back, and
The Lord of
she's
Sunlight
just there
works
going,
in mysterious ways.
he's served his purpose, and you've yet to shut blue eyes.
Yeah.
That's
remember I
difference.
said
And then now I'm going to die because I said I was going
I
to
mean,
die.
when I originally said it, I said brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. But for the sake of this moment, I'm going to say brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes.
Wink, wink. Get my hint?
Also, I'm going to cover
was
my
such a
eyes so
shame.
you don't notice they're blue.
Because she was, I love the whole Lord of Light aspect to it. There was a sense of mystery there. There's like another god working, an ancient force working in the land of Westeros. She just, is that it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it seems completely like...
What about the Prince of...
Prince who was promised.
Prince who was promised.
Azor Ahai.
Yeah. Where's Azor Ahai? Is that Jon
Well, considering
or was that
Azor was meant to kill the Night King, was it?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
So
The end
is that
of Long Night
Arya?
was pretty much...
Arya is Azor
I mean,
Ahai?
The
it
expectations
could have
of
been
it being
Princess
Jon
that's
Snow.
promised, but it's just like... It makes no sense.
Yeah, it
They've
didn't
had
feel-
no build up for it to be her.
I mean, the series has kind of forgotten about
And
that
the Night
aspect
King's
anyway.
hype
so...
men were fucking shit. They just
Yeah,
sat
they
on their
didn't
horses
do
doing
anything the
nothing.
entire fight.
Yeah.
Which is
Jon and
A shame,
Daenerys didn't really
is-
do much. I was so
They
annoyed
were
when
so
Jon
rubbish.
didn't like the trench that was right next to him. He knows the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, oh,
I'm gonna watch
stand
Brown
here.
on
I like the fact that they had one trench.
Yeah,
yeah. I like the fact that they didn't have any light, like just fucking beacons lit out in the field of combat, so that way you can see an
I get it.
approaching
You know,
army.
some of the thing is that they wanted it to be natural lighting, etc., for the darkness of the episodes, but it was quick pacing of the cut as well.
Yeah.
A
You
shaky
didn't really see
cam everywhere.
much, and
Like
just the last 15-20 minutes, because we rewatched it the other day, because some of my flatmates hadn't seen it, was that 15-20 minutes is just slow motion shots pretty much with very little dialogue. I think the only dialogue that happens is Jon shouts up to Dany, Bran, and she says, run. And then it's just a bit of sword fighting. And then obviously
you're a
Bran
good man.
delivering that. And that's it. The whole thing is slow motion, walking, bit of running, individual. Look at these people fighting with that score, slow tempo, and just
Watch
come
as
on.
it appears like the only characters left are the main characters that you've known for a long time, and the rest of the armies have been abolished.
Yeah,
But then at the end, it turns out they've still got the same numbers to
the
rival
guys who you-
Cersei and King's Landing.
somehow the main characters who look like they keep getting overwhelmed and murdered somehow are back up and fighting full on.
Exactly, and not enough of those main characters died for me.
Yeah.
Sam seemed to just be rolling around on the floor constantly.
I don't feel like they showed off a fight, like a war, enough. You know, you didn't see the Unsullied actually fighting the undead.
Yeah, they just
saw a swathe.
They got swarmed.
I don't understand how.
Thing just getting swarmed and stomped over.
Grey
And you don't
Worm
see anyone
constantly
fighting.
surviving. He's there at the front, and he's in
They
the
were
back,
all
and then
on
he's
the,
at the end.
They were all on the front line, and none of them died.
Like straight up, all of a sudden retreated. They got thousands of soldiers behind them. Why did they stop firing the catapults at the beginning?
Why did they not
used
fire
once.
arrows at once the undead had stopped at the fire barrier? They were
What
just
I
like,
don't get is that the undead were coming from a forest, right? You have 2 dragons.
Set the forest
Set
on
that
fire.
forest on fire. Like, that forest shouldn't be there anyway. Tactically, you should cut down every forest for like miles because it impedes your vision.
Yeah,
But
and it would help them build the defenses.
Exactly. Fucking, you should.
I know you're limited on
only had
manpower,
a
but
couple of
there was
days.
plenty of people you could have done.
They've only had a couple of days, guys,
to
despite
build a
the
trench
fact
all the
that
way
if
around the
you
castle.
Really think about it, they had weeks,
They've had at least
possibly
a
months. Not years. A year, because just because fast travel exists doesn't mean time isn't flowing naturally.
Exactly.
What the
People
fuck?
say, or they tried to pretend that it's like the Battle of Winterfell, they had to get ready for it in like a few days or a week. But that's wrong, because Jon has known about this battle coming for fucking ever.
Yeah, well,
and the whole point of the last season of him going down to Daenerys was to convince him to help fight. And the whole point of them going to
north over the wall
north to grab
out.
a white was to also to convince Cersei to fight. So they fucking knew they were coming.
They had plenty of
so
time.
they should have been building up that entire time. So if you're telling me, oh, he only just realised a week ago that they should have built something, it's like, no, they should have been building up that entire entire grounds from Winterfell to the fucking wall should have been
to know
battlefield.
Because the wall had already
where's the
been
rest of the
broken.
Night's Watch? I know a load of them got
exactly.
fucked up on the wall, but
Exactly.
you literally had
They've forgotten about now.
one guy. Just forget about the Night's Watch.
But
The
they're
whole
still
reason
on the
of them
wall. They're
being
just
on the
like,
wall.
thank
They're like,
God
shit,
they didn't see
passed
us.
Okay. Yeah, there's just a lack of
Yeah, and this episode wasn't any better.
build. They
For
built
me.
it up. They built it up so much, and they've just delivered.
And what's worse
nothing.
is it's like
and
they're each an hour and a half long almost, or whatever. Most of them are an hour and a half long, and it took 2 years for them to make them, and everyone's just like, really?
yeah,
And the whole,
I
I'm
get
guessing
this.
you've seen the Starbuck controversy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You've
the
seen
Starbuck.
that.
That shows
the
a
cup
that
is
shows a
appeared.
lack of care.
You know, it's just like that goes to show that, like, yeah, exactly. 2 years, and you're making mistakes that never been made in Game of Thrones before.
Yeah.
I think also like the second episode they repeated the scene from the first episode where Arya goes to talk to Gendry. Like, cut out the forge. We've seen him in the forge. We know where he is. Just have her go straight into the conversation. Free up those few minutes to have a decent dialogue or conversation or exploration of characters further down the line. You know, it's just little things like that. And again, with the slowing down the pace for the battlefield and not showing off all the people fighting, just focusing on the main characters. You didn't get that sense of
I was expecting more of a fight scene like
a
in
war,
Two
of
Towers.
desperation.
Two
Yeah.
Towers from Lord of the
Helm's
Rings.
Deep.
Like, yeah, Helm's Deep. I just wanted that. I wanted a proper fight, like a medieval war
especially
against the undead,
proper-
which is like an
proper
awesome
tactics.
scenario as well. To be like, hey, medieval but undead characters.
and especially when this is supposed to be the most expensive fight.
Yeah,
like
this
that
is
scene
supposed to be
in
the
TV
largest
history.
fight ever. Not even TV, but apparently in film as well. This is the largest ever filmed
No,
with the most.
I can't agree with that.
Well, it's got apparently the most actual living
Living people.
extras
Okay.
appearing in and on screen. You know, compared
Yeah.
to Lord of the Rings, which just duplicates a certain amount.
And
I mean,
obviously,
they could have saved money had they just done it like that.
Yeah,
because-
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
At the end
Cut
of the
the
day,
money
that,
back.
that meant
But Lord of
nothing.
the
It was
Rings
shit.
fight looks
and they
better.
cut it
You
down
couldn't
anyway.
see it. You
Yeah.
couldn't see anyone.
Exactly. And I know people, some of our people listening will probably disagree and actually think that the season of Game of Thrones is awesome. Because I see a lot of
And they're wrong.
people on social media shouting like, "Oh my god, that episode was great!" and
just
group
trying to-
conversations. Oh, that was brilliant! I can't wait. So good. Yeah, I feel like they're blindsided with their love of what happened
Exactly.
before in Game of Thrones, and
Also-
it's that hype train. You know, if you actually rewatch some of the stuff, you're gonna hopefully come around to our ideas with
I think,
our
like-
train of thought. But they have lost any kind of
Yeah.
momentum and,
I think
and
you-
control of the
yeah,
story
I think-
arcs here.
At least you and I have also added biased of being like fans of the books, having read the books. It's like they're so much better than what they're, and like they surpassed the books almost in the 4th season. That's when the first divergence started happening with the Brienne story. But it's like, it's just so much further proof that as they've gone away, they've gone shit. And maybe some people who haven't read the books are able to watch this and be like, oh, it's still amazing. But having read the books, you're just like, I know there's a better standard that can happen.
Yeah, well, there's some interesting characters that happen in the books that I totally missed out on it. They don't make an appearance. There's no mention of
Cold Hands was just sort of like slapped in there. It's like, look, it's Benjamin Stark. He's dead.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Obviously, I don't want to mention it just in case people haven't read the books. Although they're long ass books, and people will probably put off. But Catelyn Stark being resurrected by Lady Stoneheart as resurrected by the Lord of Light. And again, in the books, I can't wait to see where that story. Like, does she see her daughters again? What's that interaction going to be like?
Exactly, because she's then like
cold heart killer.
And she then makes like Brienne one of her agents, and Brienne's sent out to basically capture Jaime and make him repent for his sins. And at the end of the last book, he's about to be like captured and tortured, and it seems like it's going to be a real turning point where he either dies, which I doubt will happen, or more likely he's like turns around and goes like, I've actually now left
for the Starks
to help. I've helped save your brother. And I sent Brienne to save your family, and I will be a better person.
Because the relationship in the book,
and he will be Azor Ahai, and he will kill Cersei.
He's definitely splitting. In the book, there's the hate for Cersei comes up as she's wronged him so much, and this and that.
Yeah, which is a real weird thing they did in the show where they had that like same sort of moment, but then they were like, he's gonna stick with Cersei for 2 more seasons.
Yeah,
and he's gonna be like, I love my children, and I'm gonna rescue Marcella from Dawn, and they fucked Dawn up in that whole storyline.
Things we do for
love. Oh, Bran, you cheeky fuck.
Just gonna sit here and do nothing.
Just
Bran's got the best idea. He's just sitting there, being like, I'm chilling.
Just watching this.
I'm watching something else.
I'm gonna go now.
The dude could walk this whole time.
He's walking into the rat in the MCU that opens up Scott Lang's portal.
Oh, crossover. What dimensions?
I mean, he was completely fucking useless.
Yeah, again, I feel sorry for the actor.
He took control of those ravens
to do nothing.
And flew them.
He spent the whole time. Obviously,
he flew off. He was getting that pigeon puss.
Yes, and I'm sorry, some people
butterfly
have
puss.
Maybe he's possibly part of the White Walkers and Night King has got something to do with that ancient history. But I think that's not going to happen because
I don't think
Night King just got obliterated.
Make that.
I would like to know what Bran was doing because he's sat there in a chair, wide-eyed. He didn't even control a dragon or go
the
walk on anything.
writers don't know what to do with him, but like he's got all this power.
Yeah, he's the three-eyed raven.
How do we actually
mystical...
use this to the story? And they're just like, I don't know. He's just going to sit there. He's just going to sit there. We can't really think of a crazy way to do it. He's just going to sit. And he's gonna be a dickhead to everyone and be like,
it's like having him walk into a fucking dragon or something.
Yeah. And they fucked Jon and Ghost's relationship up as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ghost
and in this episode,
disappears,
last episode especially.
Like,
he's in this episode as well?
Yeah, it's so surprising.
Yeah,
Ghost survives, although you don't ever see him coming back or fight by Jon's side.
Looks like he's missing
which is supposed to be. Yeah, his ear's chopped off. He's blooded from battle, so...
He must have been doing something.
Nothing. It's just, he's better up there.
And then he's like, right, fuck off, Ghost.
Yeah. And that's another thing I didn't like in these. All the Starks are supposed to have, obviously when the magic of the land starts returning, they have the ability to walk and sync up with their wolves. And Arya has Nymeria that she falls into. Like when she dreams, she sees Nymeria's wolf pack. And in the books, I'm kind of hoping when it gets to that point that she's gonna have Nymeria there with a fucking army of wolves.
Is it like that's the whole thing. It's supposed to be almost prophetic, and like you get the idea that Nymeria running around with a wolf pack killing people is maybe foreshadowing that Arya comes back after learning from the Faceless Men as an assassin, and she either has her own group of like people and she's running around enacting her own justice and stuff.
So there's all that sort of...
And like, again, that gets me excited.
Multi-story,
in the books,
weaving...
You have Rickon, who's still alive, and he's like with the Umbers, who are like basically giants almost. You know, they've really got fucked over in the show, but they're supposed to be like big, powerful.
Man,
You know, basically like Tormund giants being sort of, but Northmen, and they're like, they've now got him, and they're secretly raising him,
and then
like his
dog,
his direwolf Shaggy Dog was always supposed to be like this really like vicious, unkempt sort of like direwolf,
wild animal.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, is that what Rickon's gonna be like? Is he gonna be trained up and raised to be like this fucking brutal warrior?
And then obviously you got the other Targaryen, who's the baby that was taken over to
young Griff.
Taken over to not Dawn.
Westeros.
No, they're in Westeros, isn't it?
Easteros.
Yeah. Easteros. But he comes over to Westeros.
I thought that's what you're saying, but no, he's in Essos.
Essos, that's the one. And then he comes over. So obviously the last book ended with him landing.
Yeah, I think he lands on Dragonstone.
Yeah, trying to get the banners up, and obviously that story arc they mashed with Tyrion and Jorah.
Yeah,
story in
Jorah was never supposed to get grayscale, which is why they also quickly slam in this whole grayscale cure.
You do kind of think like, you could have given yourself more seasons and spread things out better had you just stuck even closer to the books early on.
Definitely.
And you wouldn't have gone to this point where you've surpassed
we don't know what to do with the characters.
Not sure what to do. It would have given George R. R. Martin more time to hopefully finish that book.
Yeah.
And
hurry up, George.
Yeah, he needs to finish up.
Couple of books. I don't know how many he's got planned. I haven't read these
at
ones.
least 2.
It's got to be.
So
I'm hoping he's writing them both at the same time.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be dropped like pretty fucking
That's what
quickly.
I keep saying.
Instead of it being like, here's one and then you wait another 10 years, I hope it's like, here it is, it's done. And it's like, oh fucking yeah.
Because you know those book sales. Those book sales are fucking fly.
Oh my god, baby!
Oh my god, baby, okay?
That book just dropped right next to you. Oh my god! Baby, it's tons of pages.
I think at least no matter what, I will always appreciate the book ending more than whatever they're doing in the series.
Yeah.
So even if I do get disappointed by the series, I can never be as disappointed.
The series is just
as I am by the fucking TV show.
Yeah, fan fiction, messy.
It's just
poorly
so bad,
written
though.
fan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's what fan fiction is. It's poorly written, pretty much.
That's not true.
All
There
fan
is good
fiction.
fan fiction out there.
Scott's a writer.
What's your fan fiction name, Scott?
50 Shades of Grey.
Hey.
Which is Twilight fan fiction. They made loads of money.
It's sexy.
And it's not long till that whole season finishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, another 2 episodes. And it's just like, it doesn't feel
it
like
doesn't
it.
feel like there should be just
like,
2 episodes left.
It's just like, okay.
They've done so many characters dirty with this.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've done Daenerys dirty. I think they've done Jon
they
dirty.
really slammed in this whole mad queen thing.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, it was always
And
kind
this
of
rivalry
a
between
possibility,
two
but they really
female
just,
leaders.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
That it needs a
fucking
lot more
around with
exploring
Sansa.
instead of we're going to just do this in a couple of episodes because
I admit Daenerys shouldn't be running around just killing people just because she's captured them. She's like bend the knee.
I'm in Westeros now.
Oh,
I'm in my plan.
It's like
I'm here.
come
my
on.
vision.
You
Prophecy,
can take
self-prophecy.
prisoners.
And now
'Cause
all her
clearly
best
you have
friends are
enough
dead.
food.
She's alone,
Oh, yeah.
except with Tyrion.
All her dragons are dead.
No.
No,
She has one dragon.
one dragon. That's
you know.
surprising. That is surprising.
He hasn't seen the episode, so
it's fine.
yeah, I
I'm
was
gonna
expecting
watch
that.
it
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean,
and
not
I was
fine,
like,
fussed. You came into this knowing that there would be possible spoilers from us.
and I've come in and out.
You don't
Which-
really care
throughout
about it.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've come
You've
in
only
and out.
watched season 7 and 8.
1, 2, bit of 3, bit of 4, bit of 5, bit of 6, and a bit of 7.
You watched
That's
all of
enough.
7.
Yeah.
You watched
Or all of 7. All
That's
of
enough.
7, and all of
No,
8 so
8.
far.
All right.
Except for the new one.
So
But yeah, it's just, we'll talk about it more once the series
we'll see
is
how it
over,
all comes to an end.
but it's not looking good.
No.
In our
don't-
opinion,
Yeah. In many ways, I feel like it was either going to be that Endgame was great and Game of Thrones was disappointing, or Game of Thrones was going to be great and Endgame was going to be disappointing. I'm glad with the ones we got.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Endgame is
We're
great
down
and
a
I'm
good
happy
hand.
with that. You know, I haven't cared about the show since, like, the 4th season anyway, so this still being shit is like, okay.
Bless the 9 divine.
and then
Yeah,
enter
we'll-
Rise
we'll-
of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Which will break our hearts.
We'll see how they go. We'll touch
Or
on that a bit later
we
as
will.
well.
Yep, when till
I
December.
mean,
We'll
yeah,
watch the
exactly.
sky and be happy.
Rise of Skywalker,
I'm
terrible name.
When will the new poster drop? That's what
Yeah.
I'm waiting
Feature
for,
trailer.
'cause
Yeah.
They've got a
last one
remake.
they dropped was seen as fake.
Nobody believed it.
Yeah.
It was real.
Maybe it was fake, I guess. But,
Yeah, maybe some elements of that were true.
True. Who knows?
We
After
definitely
After seeing
don't.
the whole new trailer,
Mhm.
everyone knows it was totally fake.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, and we're going to end with just a couple of recommendations.
Well,
I think,
I mean, real quick, who do we think might end up on the throne at the end of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I guess we can predict that now
Any
rather
real
than at the
quick
end of the
predictions.
season.
Say I'll wait till the end of the season.
straight up, John.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do just like.
The way
I
they
like,
go of it is the easy.
I
it's
like
the
the
easy
theory
way. It's
that
the
people are
easy
saying
way.
that it'll be Arya and Gendry. I think that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Full circle back to the Baratheon and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. In the whole, oh, you have
Yeah,
a daughter,
that'd
I
be
have a
nice.
son.
Yeah.
I think that'd be like unexpected. I mean, they're giving Arya everything. She gets
Yeah.
to kill the Night King. She'll kill Cersei.
She gets to have revenge
She's
on
now
her
gonna
family.
be. So yeah, I'll say Gendry and Arya.
I think they're just going to take the easy route and stick with what the seeds they're sowing now and put John on the throne.
Or Sansa.
I think.
They'll just easily resolve everything.
I think they'll
with Daenerys,
just
and
end up
she'll be
going.
like-
We're just going to have democracy at the end. They're just going to get to the end. They're going to be like, we're going to have a democratic republic, no kings.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
And they're just going to be like, we're going to have an order
Ruled by
of things.
people,
Or maybe
yeah.
they
All
go
the
back to
houses
the
of-
original way in which they have 7 kingdoms.
There's 7
and-
kingdoms again.
There you go. They're like, actually, this worked out better.
Yeah.
And we just have a council of kings and queens.
Let us know what you
I
think
just
in
want
the,
to predict.
the comments. Oh,
Yeah. What's your predictions? We want to
Just
hear
clip my
that.
ball bag. I'm in between my legs. You know,
You
when
shouldn't
it
be clipping
slips
your
down.
ball bag,
I've
man.
just readjusted my leg a little bit there. And it popped.
Running my balls.
We want to hear your predictions and the comments.
Yeah, what you
Yeah,
think?
let us know.
If you agree with anything we've said, if you understand anything we've said.
Or if you disagree with anything we've said. But otherwise, recommendations? Anyone got anything? Like,
Recently, you guys introduced me to a game called D&D Mayhem. It's a little cardboard game.
Dungeon Mayhem.
yeah.
Dungeon Mayhem, not D&D Mayhem. But
Well,
it's
it
based
is
on...
D&D.
It is based on...
Dungeon
it is-
Mayhem.
It is Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Mayhem,
Yeah.
the card game.
It's very quick,
Yeah.
easy
You
four-player
can
game.
find it at our website at www.geekvault.co.uk.
Exactly. It is actually a lot of fun. Recommend for people playing it. It seems to be the best
Yeah.
It's quick-paced.
Yeah.
format.
It-
And
it-
yeah, it's very quick. It's easy to travel with. If you're ever, fucking camping or
Yeah.
in a camper van or at maybe an airport potentially or just
Yeah.
in a hotel.
Oh, I don't know. Those little tokens could go missing.
You don't.
Yeah,
you don't.
but you
use
don't
it
really
all
Yeah,
that
this
often.
is true. But it was fun. You know, you had me hooked after the first game.
Yeah.
And
It's fun.
after
Especially
that,
since we were like,
it's
hey,
fun
do you
and
want to
quick.
play one quick
Yeah,
game? And
as
you're like,
obviously
how quick
5
is quick?
games
And we were like,
later.
oh,
Yeah.
it's got maybe at
5
most
games later,
5
Lily and I
minutes,
were
and you
sucked
were
in.
just like, another one.
Yeah.
Another
Doing it.
one.
Hit me. Hit
Yeah.
me. But it was brilliant. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
I'm already hoping that they've got expansion packs lined up for some different
Yeah.
characters.
Currently,
and-
it's a 2 to 4 player game because you can't really play it by yourself.
But they're so quick you can switch out
Yeah, you
with
can
people
switch
and stuff if needs be.
something fun, new take on. But otherwise, if I was to recommend a film, Child's Play, because me and Scott watched that recently,
Yeah, I
and
watched
that's
that for the first
hilarious.
time. That was great. I'm
Yeah.
guessing a lot of people have probably seen it.
Yeah, we're
considering
slow to the game here.
it's
I haven't even
30,
seen
40
it.
years old.
Yeah, it's an old film,
I've seen
but
bits of it.
it's fun. It's massively
great.
fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you know all about it and then you watch it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And with the new one coming out with Mark Hamill doing the voice of
yeah,
the new
that looks
Chucky,
interesting.
it's a good way to catch up.
Yeah.
So
And even if you have seen it, just rewatch it
just
again.
rewatch
Relive
it.
it.
It's good.
Because these guys have been raving about it. I'm going to check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely worth rewatching if it's been a while for you. Or if you've never seen it, just
Yeah.
watch it.
And we want to watch the sequels now
Yeah, me
because
too.
how do you carry on from Child's Play? Like, come on.
But otherwise, I would recommend the Warship Jolly Roger comic, which I picked up during the free comic book day the other day. I bought myself that, and that
Popped
was
over to Dark Side Comics in Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Picked that up, and
Our
that
competitors. Nah,
That's
they're
been very
awesome.
good.
Support the community.
Yeah, they are
Support
awesome.
everyone.
They are awesome.
It's awesome what they do over there.
Yeah, Warship Jolly Roger, sick art. It's a pretty interesting story so far.
Yeah. It's got like
Looks
a Titan
very like
AE look.
Titan AE. Titan AE.
When you showed me,
Kind of
I
reminds
can't-
me of the Isola comic as well. That sort of
Mm.
style.
If you wanted
the
another comic
colours.
to be recommended, I saw that.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's
pretty interesting.
awesome and interesting.
But again, you showed me, and yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on that after you finish reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also rewatch My Hero Academia or watch out for the first time.
We're just
And
gonna
read the mangas.
keep
I
rolling.
watched
And
the
then
film.
read Vigilantes.
Yeah, My Hero Academia Vigilantes.
This
Sorry,
was supposed to
that's
be
gotta
one
be-
each, and now
I
we're,
know, but
you're going
My
off the
Hero
rails here.
Vigilantes, we've got 3 here. There's a new one out,
Yep.
and it needs support because it is awesome. So
Awesome.
awesome. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's good.
And
Thank you for.
thank you. We've just been three. We're just three.
We're just
we're
three
just three
brothers.
brothers.
Three brothers.
Three brothers.
At
Go.
www.geekvault.co.uk.
Yes,
the
final
one.
plug.
GeekVault UK on Instagram and other places.
Yeah, hit us up.
Follow,
Hit us up
like,
on our social medias.
Subscribe, share, love it.
Click that like button.
Yes.
Smack that bell.
Bitch,
Beat
please.
that bishop.
Beat that fish.
Spank the monkey.
No, don't.
Yeah, no, fuck it. Follow us.
Out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.